on my bed, bowed down and said, "Sir, can I do you any other favor?" Wow, I could see her bra.
چیه؟ این چی میگه؟ خب بذارین قبل از اینکه ویدیو شروع بشه یه چیزی بهتون بگم. همین الان اگه پیش خانواده هستین، همین الان برین یه جای خلوت هندزفری بزنین و ویدیو رو نگاه کنین و بریم شروع کنیم.
Hey, I'm from Mexico and my family is kind of wealthy. That's why we have a maid living with us who does the housework. She also has a daughter called Maria, who's 1 year older than me. We never talked much because Maria wasn't allowed to leave her small chamber unless she helped with the housework or had to go to school. I know we didn't treat her well, but a few months...
Stop شو بی پدر. آقا مگه این برده داره این حرکت خیلی زایه و زغارتا، یعنی برده تا زمانی که نخواد کار خونه رو بکنه حق نداره بیاد بیرون. برده داریه این. من تو خونه خودم کسی بهم نمیگه چیکار کنم. والا زرم میزنم.
A few months ago, she started giving me eye contact, and I always smiled back at her. I mean, she was quite beautiful. I even tried talking to her, but she was too shy and couldn't bring out a single word. But one Saturday morning, she came into my room to bring me breakfast.
آقا شما تصور کنین یکی یه سال از خودتون کوچیک‌تر باشه، یه طفل، بعد شما خدمتکارمون باشین. خب خجالت نمیکشین واقعا؟ خجالت چه زایه نیست. منم باشم خجالت میکشم. ولی چرا انقدر لباسشون انقدر جذبه؟ از بیخ مشکل داره این داستان، از بیخ مشکل داره.
I told her, "Oh wow, that looks awesome. Thank you so much." That's when I noticed that she was wearing a rather revealing outfit.
چیه؟ این چی میگه؟ صندلی من کمتر صدا بده.
Outfit. She put the breakfast on my bed, bowed down and said, "Sir, can I do you any other favor?" Wow, I could see her bra, and it was so arousing. I offered her to sit down on my bed and eat the breakfast with me together. It was the first time we had a real conversation. And after a few minutes, she said, "It's very cold in here." I responded, "I'm sorry, the air conditioning is too strong, but you can come under my blanket." Suddenly, we were laying right next to each other with my legs touching hers. I even put my hand on her thighs. Things were great until my mom came into the room. She saw us and said, "Oh my God, what are you doing?"
بعد همین مامان گفته "Oh my God شما دارین چیکار میکنین؟" اگه مامان من بود هیچ صحبتی نمیکرد، میرفت طبقه پایین دست جارو برقی رو میآورد. نگین مامان شما همین نیستن، پشت دست میاد دهنتون.
How can you sleep with a girl like her? Maria was so embarrassed. She ran outside. Meanwhile, I tried to explain to my mom that we hadn't slept with each other. But my mom responded, "She only wants to get pregnant by you, so she gets our money." Wow, my mom always saw the worst in us.
خب همچین بدم نمیگه مامانه، داره درست میگه کاملا. دختر یهو از این و به اون رو شده خدمتکارتون، مشخصه واسه چیه دیگه، مشخصه. پسرا گول نخورین، ما خیلی مظلوم تر از این حرفاییم جانکر.
Than other people. No wonder she was a terrible person herself. I mean, our maid was living with us for 5 years and we still treated her like a worthless servant. My family didn't even pay for Maria's school fees. But I liked her a lot and we started seeing each other in secret. I still remember the first time she came into my room at night. She was still shy and only said, "Hey." I stood up and said, "Wow, you look beautiful." But she was so nervous, she couldn't even look me in the eyes. I had never felt more aroused. She was wearing a short black dress, and I couldn't help myself. I put my hand on her wrist and pulled her towards me. Then I grabbed her hair. She was wearing a short black dress, and I couldn't help myself. I put my hand on her wrist and pulled her towards me. Then I grabbed her hair, pulled it back, and kissed her. This was the first of many nights we spent together. But then it happened. She told me she was pregnant. I was confused and said, "But we..."
آقا یه سوال، اینقدر سخته از این کاندوم 20 صاحب شده استفاده کنین؟ اینقدر سخته؟ آقا یه چیز کوچیکی با منزه کیوتیه میکشی روش تمام شد رفت رو خیال راحت. اینقدر چیز سختیه واقعا.
We always use protection. How could this happen? She said she didn't know either, but I had a suspicion. Maybe after we slept with each other, she had searched the trash and pulled out my protection. But of course, that's just a suspicion. Anyway, it was...
استفاده هم کرده بود. یعنی چه طرزه؟ گفتم دختر مشکل داره، گفتم یا نگفتم، گفتم یا نگفتم. دیدین گفتم دختره رفته تو آشغال. من چه توضیح بدم؟ لیمیت بخوره کانال من. یعنی چی؟
It was hard to tell my parents about the baby. Both of them freaked out, and my dad even wanted to throw Maria out on the streets. I was shocked and said, "No, I love her, and I want to be her boyfriend. She isn't as bad of a girl as you think." I guess my parents were disappointed I wouldn't marry a girl from a good family. But I really didn't care. Maria was a lovely girl, and she was carrying my baby. However, in the first few months of our relationship...
پسر از پسر خیلی گل و معصوم بوده، مثل حاجیتون. همینقدر معصوم، همینقدر خوب، همینقدر مسئولیت پذیر. چه زر میزنی؟
of our relationship, I learned that we were quite different. I don't want to sound arrogant, but Maria was less educated than me, and I didn't enjoy talking to her much. I still tried to be a responsible dad, but when I turned 18, I went to my first party. It was so crazy with all those beautiful girls. I stayed faithful that night and didn't kiss or sleep with another girl, but afterward, I started having doubts about my relationship with Maria. Maybe I wasn't ready for a family. And things got worse when I went to university.
ببین خدای ماریم خوب تیکه‌ای بود ناموسن. معلومه خیانت نمی‌کنه.
University. There were so many pretty girls, and many of them were flirting with me. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I went to Maria and said, "I know you'll be angry, but I want an open relationship." She started crying and said, "No, that's not fair." But I responded, "I'm just too young for a serious relationship. I'm sorry." I knew I was a douche because Maria had no choice. She couldn't leave me because she had no money. She was dependent on me. And as horrible as it sounds, I kind of like that because it made me feel powerful. Well, after Maria had given birth, my parents rented us a small apartment next to my university where we moved in. But I partied often and even brought girls home. And yes, I took them into the same...
دانشگاه یا خرابخونه است؟ تو میری دانشگاه درس بخونی یا اینکه میری زارتا زونتان و پارتی و مشروب و اینا؟ دانشگاه چه صدا میدی؟ دانشگاه نیست، خراب بازی قشنگ. خرابخونه است. همشون خرابن. من فقط خوبم.
The same bed my girlfriend was lying in. She would act as if she was asleep most of the time. But one night, I was drunk, woke her up and asked if she wanted to join us. But she just started crying and ran outside. That ruined my mood, and I apologized to her afterward. Gosh, I knew I was such a jerk, but I still continued. One of my favorite girls I was dating was Mathilde. She was well educated and funny. I told her I had an open relationship with my girlfriend, and then I asked her if she wanted to move in with us. She was reluctant at first, but finally agreed. It was so awkward when I introduced her to Maria. I said, "Maria, this is Mathilde. We've been seeing each other for a few weeks now, and I want her to become part of our relationship." I could tell Maria...
کار کثیفیه. یعنی چی؟ خب حداقل خفه بگی پایین بیا پایین. پنج چشم سایه.
Maria was angry. Of course, she wanted me all for herself. But that wouldn't happen, and a three-way relationship was still better than me breaking up with Maria. Then, I pulled both of them close to me, and we all kissed each other. Gosh, it was one of the most exciting moments of my life. But it got even better after.
خب همونطور که مشاهده میکنین قضیه چند همسری انگار فقط در ما ایرانی‌ها نهفته نیست. در خارجی انگار بیشتر و کلوفتره.
We also all slept in the same bed, which I loved, but they didn't get along so well and often insulted each other. Their conflict escalated when Mathilde accidentally used Maria's towel. Maria freaked out and they ended up physically fighting each other wearing short pants on my bed. It sounds terrible, but it aroused me to...
آره دقیقا میخواستم دو تا دختر لخت و اور بیان جلوت بالش بازی کنن، جنگ بالشی تحریک کنن. خیلی چیز داره این ویدیو. وای آقا خیلی بده.
Aroused me to see them fight over me. However, I still broke up the fight to make sure no one got hurt. In the end, Maria and I decided it couldn't continue like that. And now my parents are paying her $1,000 each month to rent her own apartment where she raises my daughter. I take care of my daughter on the weekends, and I really enjoy being a dad. But university is more important right now, so I can find a good job one day and provide well for both my daughter and Maria.
خب رفقا این بود ویدیو امروز. امیدوارم که تا اینجا ویدیو از ویدیو لذت برده باشین و اگه پارت بعدش رو میخواین من 100 تا کامنت میخوام. 100 تا کامنت واسه این ویدیو من میخوام. همیشه ویدیوهای من 60 70 تا ویو رو میخوره. شما 60 70 نفر 2 تا کامنت هم که بذارین 100 تا ویو میرسه. نفری 2 تا کامنت بذارین حتما. و البته یادتون نره که حتما سابسکرایب بکنین. و حالا پیس.